Welcome everybody to episode 3 of Rambunctious. What's up guys, I'm your boy Andrew Rambunctious Jr. and welcome. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Be sure to click the links below in the description. We have obviously supporting the stream, but also we have merch. I've been trying to promote that over the last few months as best I can, especially with a full-time job. It's a little difficult, but it has been almost 2 months since our last episode, and I apologize for that. We've had a lot of different things happen over the last few months that I'd like to catch you guys up on. Not anything major other than the fact that I did get a promotion recently over the last 3 weeks. We did have our vacation in Puerto Rico that I did post some pictures and whatnot, mainly of my wife and scenery, because I'm not I'm not the best looking dude, so I'm not trying to make it awkward either. I just, for me, I love my wife and I love the way she looks. I'm not saying I'm, shallow by any means, but she's always been beautiful in my eyes and in the eyes of many other people. Especially over the last 2 years, we've been kind of like growing up and, hit our 30s, and we're in a different point in our life where we have a little bit less distractions and we're able to kind of focus in on things that really matter. It's one of those things that I love about my wife is that we both grow together. Yeah, we had a blast. Just really getting to know each other better, and the vacation didn't go as planned mutually, but I will say that I'm very glad that I got to see my grandparents again, because you only get, one set of them. So it's good to see them, and I was really happy that they got to meet my wife. I've been with her for 13 years almost now, and we've been married for just over 5. Had a very roller coaster of a relationship, mainly my fault, So, and I've said that numerous times, even during the streams, and how the right woman can change the right man. So, and then vice versa. So, anyways, today I do want to kind of talk about what kind of got me on the map for the most part in terms of gaming. I talked a little bit about my career in gaming, I think episode 1, but I really started gaming at a pretty decently high level at the age of 12, and at that time it was Call of Duty United Offensive. You guys can Google that for those of you who are too young to remember pre-2008 Call of Duties. This was a 2002 game. That's when the first Call of Duty came out, but then the United Offensive, I believe, came. It was like the first expansion of the game. Had base assault and whatnot. We had different clans and different modes that we played. For the most part, we played search and destroy and base assault. But base assault was our specialty as a clan. It was a large scale map. And even then, the small maps were actually a lot bigger than they are now, for the most part. But played that, and then when Call of Duty 2 came out, that's when I got a little bit more into the semi-professional scene. And then I played every single Call of Duty for the most part. The only ones that I skipped was Call of Duty 3, Infinite Warfare, and then basically anything after Modern Warfare 2019. I haven't played since. But when I started streaming back in 2020, I had accumulated a following on the 2019 Call of Duty, and then Battlefield 5. Those are the 2 games that I streamed. And I streamed a little bit of ships, but I wasn't very good at that time, so I just kind of played for fun because I didn't really know what I was doing. The good old days. And about a year later, I started my first tournaments, and those were really fun. Those are more like community events more than they were tournaments, but I did have a bracket system in place. I did 7 tournaments that were moderately successful. I think tournament number 4 was the most successful of all of them. You know, normally on Twitch, you know, World of Warships Legends is not very popular on Twitch. If you guys don't know what this game is, it's a free-to-play game. Basically, the World of Warships on PC translated over to console, but now this version of the game is currently under the beta testing for the PC. So if you wanted to try it out on PC, you can. But it's called World of Warships Legends, free-to-play, and arguably pay to win at times. So there's a lot of different monetizations that they do in this game. It's pretty disgusting. Like a lot of free-to-play games are like that. So anyways, after those tournaments, you know, I got to help a lot of clans develop. And a lot of teams actually did develop, you know, clans and fleets for my tournaments. And then once training rooms came into play, and that at that point, that would have been 2023 is when they first rolled them out. Basically like a, you know, like a custom game that you could create your own little server and people join in on it. That's what that is, for those of you who don't know. And it's a training room where you set it up, you can create a private one, invite whatever, and then you can have a 9v9 or I should say up to a 9v9 scenario for your matches. But once that came into play, then tournaments started popping up on it everywhere. And fleets that were already established, you know, they took off running. Warfare at Sea was probably the most popular one and the favorite to win a lot of the tournaments, which they did, and they became elite. You know, I joined Payne's Armada back in 2022, so at that point it would have been there wasn't really any fleets at that time, but we had Discord clans, and that's basically what everybody was up until 2023. And then a little after that, they put in actual fleets in the game, that you created your own fleet and then had people join it, and as people played and progressed, they developed that particular fleet in the game. So you were able to kind of build up oil, upgrade your fleet in game, which is really cool. And then you get rewards as you play. You know, if you're a part of a fleet that's very successful, you get bonuses for different things that you do in the game, depending on how much your fleet has been built up. So I suggest you guys check it out if you haven't, and see what this game is about. We have a huge Discord community, like hundreds and thousands of Discord servers that you could choose from, that you just have to kind of know a person to know a person to know a person. Obviously, Facebook is a huge venue for a lot of people. They used to have the Xbox chat, like a public chat that you guys can go on. Reddit is another one that you can go and look for servers there. But World of Warships Legends is growing with or without you, and I always recommend people to just try it out, see what you think. Because I mean, when I this is not my type of game. I came from FPS, and you know, I did dabble a little bit in Smite. I really liked hunting, or the Hunter, excuse me, and you know, games like that was pretty fun for me. But like I said, I'd never played World of Warships or World of Tanks, something like that. I dabbled a little bit in 2016 in War Thunder, but or 2018, I forget which year. I always forget those 2 years, which year it was. I think it might have been 2018. But anyways, I digress. So, fast forwarding to now, in terms of my gaming career, you know, being a part of one of the top clans, top fleets in the game, currently, you know, in the you know, world rankings. They're not really world rankings, but we have a server called the Fleet Network that I've been a part of, and I partnered with to do casting of different games, different tournaments. I've had a blast doing that, and a lot of people have gotten to know me through that venue, and whatever service I provide for that tournament community, excuse me. And you know, we have fleets from anywhere from South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and it's awesome to get to meet all these guys in one spot. So We had a blast. So we're one of the very few fleets that have 2 top 10 teams in, well, the top 10. So it's nice. Since the beginning of the ranking system, both of our teams have been in the top 10, and it's been awesome to play with these guys and practice. Huge blessing to learn and continue to appreciate the skill that a lot of other people have, I guess, in a way taken for granted at times. But somebody like me who came from basically, low to average skill, community members, to now being in one of the top fleets in the game has been awesome. But it's always humbling because, yeah, I'm not one to go like, oh, we're gonna beat them for sure. I'm never like that. Even during casting, like when I see a favorite, you just never know. This game is very random. You just, you don't know what's gonna happen. You can't predict it. So when you try, you fail every single time. You try to predict something, you fail. So, but I developed myself as a destroyer player over the last 2.5 years, and decided that was one venue that I wanted to do because I wanted to not only be a leader in the team, but also somebody that supports the team. And being a destroyer player allows me to do that, and allows me to have the creative ability to kind of maneuver around the map and give intel to my teammates. And I've excelled at that every single tournament that I've been a part of. We've at least for the Fleet Network, we've podiumed. So I'm happy about that because, like I said, I've always been somebody to be humble first, and arrogant last. I don't like arrogance. I don't like overconfidence. I preach that in my podcast. I preach that in my mentorship series, where it's like you don't want to be arrogant. You don't want to be somebody that oversells themselves, and then you fall short. And now what? You ruined all those relationships up until you got to that point. So now you don't have anybody to lean on. So I don't ever want to be alone at the top. So I was trying to bring people with me. And that was part of my tournaments, is like being able to kind of put people on the map, and obviously myself included, but my number one priority was making sure that everybody knew that everybody existed. So I was able to kind of help people develop their fleets indirectly by exposing them to the other teams and getting to know each other. And some teams, some players are like, hey, I like these guys, let me go over here. So they jump fleets. But, my goal was to help everybody find a home. And there was this disconnect in our community that I felt I made a pretty decent impact in the beginning stages of it, trying to like bring people together, different fleets from different discords, and I would promote everybody. There was a few tournaments that I had where you had to buy in to get a spot, and then I would collect that money, and then once the winnings came out, you got first, second, third, then I would divide it into that. That was very successful. The hard part for me was always trying to pay out people that were in different countries, and then I found a website that actually, G2P I think is what it's called. That was a very reliable website that helped me out a lot. Sometimes it's a little, like, the prices are kind of wonky because, like I said, they're, it's US to CAD to euros and all that stuff, but sometimes I did have to pay a little bit out of pocket to make sure that everybody was paid fairly. So, and then other tournaments, nobody had to pay anything. I just saved money for the tournament to pay it out myself, to reward people to participate and create content. So, and then in that tournament, I never participated in it. I just always directed it, and that's what I love to do. So, but we're here now. Like, we're commentating at times when we have time. I haven't commentated since the last tournament, but now I'm focused on being a participant, and I didn't think I was going to do that anymore, but I think I still had some gas left in me, and I hadn't participated in anything since September of last year when we won the Super Cup, which was legendary tier tournament, single elimination, 16 teams, the top 16 teams in the rankings. I think excluding one, I think one got in there because of default, but we ended up winning that tournament, first place, and that was awesome. And then recently we had a tournament where it wasn't the Fleet Network; it was just a North American, South American tournament, so that the time zones were like they lined up pretty nice. It was late in the day 2-hour tournament and we got second, so I was really happy about that. I can't remember how many teams there were. I think there were 16 teams. But very, very fun tournament ran by Task Force Kraken and some members of Warfare at Sea. So I shouted them out in a different video, and if you guys haven't checked out the tournament video, you guys should. I believe it's just called Summer Night Bash. You can search that up in my channel. You'll find it. It's a montage of all the games that I played, and it was a 3v3 tournament, small maps. Had a blast. So, but yeah, so that's basically the entirety of my gaming career for the most part. I skipped a few things that weren't necessarily relevant, but I was a Need for Speed Carbon champion when I was in middle school and high school, and I set a few records in our local area for Need for Speed The Run, which is probably still my very all-time favorite Need for Speed game. I haven't obviously played it in a long time, but at that time that was my favorite Need for Speed game. I did play Need for Speed, was it 2015? Is that what that one was called? Yeah, that was on the PS4. That was a fun game too. I like that one. The customization wasn't really all there, but it was the realism is what kind of draws me in at times. And I think for me, Gran Turismo is like too realistic. There's this meter that I like to, like Need for Speed Payback has pretty decent gaming mechanics that allowed me to kind of do what I want to do without sacrificing too much realism. So I kind of like to be kind of in the middle there. One fun game that people don't talk about much that should come back, but I think it was only on Xbox. It's that Burnout game. That shit was fun, man. I love that game. I used to have loads of fun playing that game. We used to play it in the Boys and Girls Club, and we would alternate because I think you only allow 4 players or whatever with a bunch of bots, and that was a fun game. That was a really, really fun game. But yeah, so back to my career life. Had a conversation with my former boss, who was then my boss when I had the conversation with him. He had over the last 10.5 months, almost 11 months now, they were trying to get me to take this project managerial position as be a project manager / estimator for projects. So I was like kind of pushed into the position. They really wanted me to take it because they knew I'd be really good at it. But for me, my passion has always been managing the production and quality of asphalt, because that's what I've been doing the last 7 years, and that's what I'm really good at. And this position is completely different. It's now working on the project's development side, where I learn, estimating jobs, learning the prices, getting to know production values, and then, bidding and estimating, and customer service is awesome. I love it. That's another passion of mine, but I'd rather be, just like testing it, during production, managing the production plants, the employees there within it, and making sure that everyone is being competitive and trying their very best so that our customers get our very best every single time that they pay us. So that's what I love to do, but I'm learning this, and it's a different chapter. It's a different job. So far it's going pretty decent. I think that the way that our company organizes training isn't always organized. I'm used to companies that have a training program, an actual program for that job that they want you to do. But here you just kind of mentor, and you learn on the fly. And it's not like they throw you to the wolves or nothing like that, but I just feel like, for me, if I'm training you on something that I'm really good at, I'm going to have a plan on what I need you to learn, in 3 days. And then I need you to learn this in 4 days. And then, I'll have a plan for you, so that way you have a goal in mind. But for what I'm doing right now, I just kind of meander around, whenever they give me a job to quote, then I do it. But I kind of just, every day is just kind of blindly following what the flow is, because right now we're in the middle of the season. So come July, August, everyone's going to be super busy, but like I'm just not really going to be like I'm trying to take as much training as I can, because I want to be helpful. I don't want to be useless, even though like this job, I've never done it. I don't have any experience in it, you know what I mean? So it was a learning curve, and especially since like my first 4 days, and then I took a week off, for going to Puerto Rico, and I already had that pre-planned with my previous job that I had, but or role, I should say. But then I came back, and now this is my second week back. Learning the ropes and kind of like learning where my authority starts and where it ends. That's really important. If you're in a new role, just make sure that you know that, because I don't want you guys overstepping and then all of a sudden, like, people put you in your place. I told them, I'm like, I want you guys to tell me, what I can and can't do, because I don't want to assume that I can do this because no one told me that I couldn't. And then all of a sudden, no, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, well, you could have told me that before I messed up, there's one thing about, allowing your employees to kind of like learn on the fly and then make their mistakes and learn from them. But if it's something that they could avoid doing, like, just show them, like, hey, just don't do that, you know what I mean? And I haven't ran into that yet, but it's just one of those things that I don't really feel like wanting to, really dive into. I want to make sure that whatever I do in terms of like what my role is, I want to do it 100%. I don't want to overstep somebody else's role. So far it's going pretty decent. I've been trying to post some pictures here and there on YouTube for what I do, and right now we're paving a few different areas within our community, trying to, I guess, redo the roads and all that. But we get a lot of complaints from the neighbors, and starting next week or the week after, we're doing a veterinary clinic parking lot, but we have to do half of it so that they have parking for their customers on one half, and then once this half is done, then they'll switch. Now you can park over here, and then we'll be over here. We wanted them to close for a week, but they just can't do that. So we told them, well, the only other thing that we could do for you is just do half and half, and then we'll surface it all in one day. We have something in the asphalt called binder and surface. So the binder is the lower layer, and then the surface is obviously the surface. So surfacing is like the easiest part of it, because that's just the finishing, and then you're out of there. But the binder is the hardest part, because you're trying to lay a really good foundation for the surface. So you spend a little bit more time doing it. Typically, a binder or the lower layer of asphalt takes like 2 days. But since we're only doing half, then it's like 1 day of binder. Then there's like a weekend. Then everyone parks on there, and then Monday, Tuesday, they'll mill out. They'll rip out the existing asphalt for the other half, and then after 2 days of that, then on that third day, then we come in and then we lower layer it, and then the day after that, we're gonna surface it all in one shot. So hopefully it all goes as planned. Like I told them, I said, July 3rd, we have to have all the trucks off the road by noon because of all the July, traffic. Well, 4th of July traffic. And I am super happy that the 4th of July is on a Friday this year. I think last year was on a Tuesday. It's like, Jesus, that shit sucks. I hate it when a holiday is on a weird day, because then it's like it splits your week in half, and I don't like that. Sometimes I do, but most times I don't, because especially July, 4th of July almost always ends up on a weird day. But anyways, I digress. So that's what's new with me. Been doing the project manager stuff for basically 3 weeks now. They left me on the hourly rate, the same rate that I was at. And then after 60 days, they'll do a review and see, I'm going to negotiate, but I hope they don't try to lowball me, because I'm really worried about that. I've been worried about that for a while. I've been praying about it, because I don't really want to worry about it. It's not, money is not something that should be, and for me, money is not the problem. The problem is being compensated for the role that I'm doing, you know. Because I've never argued with anyone about money, and I've been in the industry long enough that I have some pull. I finally have some pull, and I have to use it. Otherwise, people are just going to walk all over you. So, not saying that they would happen, but I don't want it to. So, um, so yeah, I've had a interesting last month and a half. Sorry, I haven't really done any rambunctious content lately. But I finally got this sound board here thing working that I just need to actually add so you can show you guys quick. Let's see here. Audio input, add. And then this thing. See if I can. There you go. Might be a little loud, so sorry about the jump scare. But so I have that because I'm going to be recording myself singing, and I just did a few. Well, I did a few recordings, but I released one of them this week. Always by Daniel Cesar. One of my recently favorite songs. It's a very nice. It has a very decent message. I like it. But singing is one of my passions. I've been singing since I was a little kid. And that's another competitive thing of mine. Is not only that I did like basketball and stuff like that, but I did choir and solo ensemble throughout my high school and middle school career. And I got we have like a rating system, and I had the top the top grade for each one of the songs that I did, but I never got elected to state. And it was actually a interesting story with that. My freshman year of high school, when you get when you get the highest grade possible in the song that you're in, as long as it's I think it's a Class A song. I forgot. It's like the hardest difficulty. When you get the top marks for it, or even if you get like -1 or whatever, you get elected to be on a list to go to state and to compete at the state level. But there was a lady who graded me, and she was incredibly nice up front. And she didn't say anything that was wrong with my performance. And then all of a sudden, when I waited, we waited like 2 weeks for the results. I wasn't on the list for state, and my teacher was kind of like, "What was the grade that you got?" Because I could have sworn on the sheet you didn't even get anything wrong. Because what they'll do is they'll mark your, I think it's like a 1 to 4 in terms of your performance. So I got 4s on everything. There's like 4 or 5 different categories. And I was kind of bummed out about that, but at the same time, being a 14-year-old, 15-year-old at the time, I didn't really care about going to state. I didn't care about school. I just wanted to play basketball and have a girlfriend. That's all I cared about at that age. But my teacher, he was kind of obsessed with that. He was in a good way. Like, he was trying to be like, what's going on here? Because there's another kid who got 1 wrong or 1 off. He had a 3 on something, and he got to state like immediately. And so they did like a weird investigation with that judge, and found out that there was some racism involved. I don't know how they found out, but my teacher told me that they had it, and the lady got put on administrative leave for like a week. And then I didn't hear anything else after that. But that was kind of a bummer, to be honest. Because like I said up front, she was super nice. I would never have guessed that she was like that at all. But not saying that she is at all. But I mean, if you got multiple teachers saying the same thing who have nothing to do with that person, it's kind of, I don't know. At the time, I didn't know what to think about it, and even now, I don't really care. but it's just an interesting side quest, I guess. Um, but I sang when I was in 5th grade. I had a choir teacher, or the choir teacher, because there was only one. She loved my voice, and I didn't know that I was a good singer. Obviously, your mom tells you all the time, but when a teacher tells you, like, she stops the class and like tells you that, like, very passionately, she's like, I love listening to your voice. That changed my life, because I was like, that's edification that is, it's earned, but like, she didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? For me, that changed how I viewed myself, at least from the music standpoint. And it pushed me to be a very good tenor. That's the style of singing that I do as a man. There's baritone, really 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 low. I can't even do it. Like baritone. There's bass. Is it bass baritone? I forgot which one it was. It's been so long. One of the two, bass baritone, and then there's numbers associated with those labels. So like, there's bass 1 and 2, 1 being like a lower, and then 2 being a higher. Baritone 1 and 2, same thing. And then I was a tenor 1, so I had the higher vocal range of the tenor guys. And they're it's funny because it's like, of all the dudes, let's say there was 10 of us total in the choir, like 2 of us or 3 of us were tenors, and then only 1 of us was a tenor 1. That's just how it is in high school. Just kind of not luck of the draw, but it just how you hit puberty. And since I've been singing like at a young age, by the time I got to high school, I was already very good at my tenor role, because I started, like, I had some really really good teachers in middle school. Mrs. Van Els. She was gone my 6th grade year for most of it, because she had a baby. So that first half of my 6th grade year, we had a teacher named Mr. Love, I think was his name. He was awesome. He had a lisp, so it was kind of sometimes funny to hear. When he sang, though, you couldn't even hear it. But when he talked, you could, like, he talked like this, like that, because he had some braces, but like his teeth were like massive, I guess. I don't know. I loved him though. Everyone loved him. He's a sweetheart. But we got to meet her, and she was like very competitive. She wanted us to be perfect, but like in a good. She was like a mom. She was very, very directive and very, very awesome. But then my 7th grade year of choir, that was when they kind of started doing like competitive choir. So that was where every other year we would have something called choir ensemble and the choir festival. So every other year was a choir festival, and then every other year was a choir ensemble. So the choir ensemble was that your choir would compete against other choirs in that public school district. And then the festival was all those choirs, the top choirs from each school would get together and form one big one. And that was super fun. I got to meet a lot of really cool people. Again, some choirs didn't even have dudes. Most of them didn't. So it was I like kind of being an outcast a little bit. I like being made fun of for being in choir, because every time you get made fun of, the girls would always back you up. They would always try to, like, no, don't fucking make fun of them, and they would always have each other's back. So I met some really cool people in that regard. But anyways, so that's when I, like, from 7th grade to when I graduated high school, my choirs didn't lose a single ensemble. We won first place every single time. We had a rival. We thought it. So I went to East High School in Green Bay, and West High School is like our Packers Bears type rivalry, right? Well, in choir it was Southwest. They always had like an amazing choir. Oh my god! And I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna beat them, but we always managed to beat them by like 1 point. And one of that we always beat them in execution. That was one of the categories. But whenever we did ensemble, dude, like both our choirs were just kind of like just carrying the entire choir, and I think there were 6 choirs total in one big choir. So we did the choir festival, and it was super fun. I wish we had recordings of that. I don't know where those would be. Nor is there a YouTube channel. I'm not sure, but it's actually. I want to see if I can find it. Hold on. I want to see if I can find it for you guys where I'm at in one of the choir videos. Let me just see here. There's only one video that you could find on YouTube. Let's see if I can find it, and then I'll pull it up here. Green Bay East Choir. I'm so dumb. I don't know if I can. Here, hold on. Let me edit. Display? No, not browser source. Display capture. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Whoa. Need to transform that. Fit the screen like this. Oh. Okay. I want to see if I can find one. So this one here. 5 years ago, 11. Green Bay East Choir and Alumni. I was a part of this one. I don't know where I'm at though. Oh, this is Mr. Ryman. I believe that was his name. Let's see if I can find me on here. I know the video quality is terrible. Give me a second. By the way, I don't know why I can't hear this. One second. Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear that. But I'm just gonna do this. Okay. I'm trying to see where I'm at. The video quality is so terrible. I think I'm right here. I think this might be me right here. Because right in front of me is TJ. This is where I come in. No. 3, 2, 1. Ding dong, ding dong. That's definitely me right here, dude. That big ass forehead rap. Alright, see if I can sing with the choir. Hold up. Let's start over quick. Ding dong. That's definitely me. Oh, real quick. Moment of silence for my buddy here. This is Michael Bruffel. One of the best baritones that we had at the time. And I'm not sure why this guy is dressed like this. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably Colin. Colin was a tenor too. But Michael Bruffel. Oh man. What can I say about Michael? I say rest in peace, my friend, because he drowned the following year in a lake. And I know this is him because this is how he stood, and this is one of his favorite shirts. And he was an incredible friend, man. Just, he minded his own business. We love him. And hope you're sleeping well, buddy. It's been a long time. 12 years since his passing, and yeah. I love Mr. Almond. What was his name? Mr. Almond. I love Mr. Almond. The iPhone 5 recording. And then there's a girl right here. Her name is Siobhan Thompson. I believe this is her. She is beautiful right now. Oh my god. Just absolutely stunning. And then this is Megan Okino. I believe this is Marvelis Peguero. She lives in Austria right now with her husband. I don't recognize anybody else out the gate. Oh, this is Kirsten Winrich. No, Kristen Wiig. No, not Kristen Wiig. Jesus, what was her last name? She was a great soprano, very cocky though. I don't know her name was Kristen. I just don't remember her last name. And you see the little girl right here. Watch the bass. Here we go, bass. Watch. 3, 2. Boom. Oh, dude, it's so funny. Obviously, the audio quality is trash, but I promise you, if you were there, dude, we fucking blew it out of the water. I want to see if I can find another video. There was another one where it was, Oh, Death. I think it was what it's called. Here it is! Oh, dude, this is even better quality. And this is, okay, so this one here is Mr. Baumgart, my favorite choir teacher of all time. Sorry, Miss Van Els. This is me right here. And then this I forgot what his name was. This guy right here always reminds me of Mr. Bean. And then this is Gunnar. He was one of our best baritone, or well, I guess he would be bass actually. Reed Dean is somewhere in here. The guy behind him up here, he was a tenor too, and that was Carmen's boyfriend, Ben. His name is Ben. And then this is Amanda something. And then I believe this is our lead singer, Hannah. Oh, excuse me, Brittany Hannon. The song is called "Oh Death," which is obviously, yeah, this is Brittany Hannon, our best female vocalist that we had in the school, second to none. I think she has 3 kids now and is married. This is Mia Richards. Mia Richards. I had a huge crush on her for a while. And a baby coughing. Here we go. So, oops. No, get off. Damn it. So, if you guys heard the piano, that's to tune everybody in. So they always did that, especially with a song that is a cappella. Any a cappella music, meaning no background, no accompaniment, you're gonna have that tune in the beginning. We got TJ, you got Goth Boy over here, I forgot his name. Ben, this is David Ama. I think he went into the military. Cody, who was my rival, even though he's trash. He's the kid that got that that 1 mark wrong, or not wrong, but like off. Reed Dean, right here. He's our tenor 2, tenor 1s, and then here we go. Like I said, the sound quality's garbage. said this sounded amazing in the theater, but this iPhone 3. See me over here, dude. I'm over here jamming, baby. What's up? I'm like, where am I? Fuck. There. See how skinny I was, dude? I was like 145. Couldn't grow a beard worth a damn. No idea what the song's about, to be honest. It's just like a gospel. Not gospel, excuse me. What do you call those? Yeah. I really wish that our Brittany? I don't know who the fuck that is. I really wish we had some of our best performances on here because we had some phenomenal. Oh wait, was I in this one? Oh, this is pretty funny. There we go. Was I in this one? I don't remember. I don't remember if I was in this one or not. This is men's only. I can't remember if I was in this one. Show choir boys right here. May not be vampires. I can't remember if I was in this one or not. I actually like their robes. Our robes are pretty slick. They're not pink though, they're red. May not be vampires. Yeah, this. I can't remember. I don't think I was in this one. Show the right. Jesus. Garlic on your feet. This song was basically written because women kept like wanting to date vampires, and we're like, hey, but you know, we may not be vampires, but hey, we're still men. Anyways, let me fast forward and see if they show the. Yeah, they don't show the right, so maybe I was over here. I can't remember. But this is the show choir at our school. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I did in high school. That's all I did in terms of activities, though. I didn't really do a whole lot. I just kind of reserved in my own strengths, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really into like pushing myself into being better at really anything, and I just kind of was stagnant. So one of the piece of advice I gave my brother, my youngest brother that was in school, he was in 8th grade at the time. I told him, I was like, look, when you get into high school, you saw the mistakes that I made. I think that you should just do everything. Anything that you want to do, any clubs or whatever, do them. Because what's going to happen is you're going to build a relationship with the teachers and with those, community leaders, so that you have references. So when you go to like a college or whatever, you got something. Because I just went to a tech college for 2 semesters and then dropped out. Like I didn't do anything. So that was the advice that I gave him. I said, don't do what I did. Do the complete opposite and do everything. And he did take that advice, and maybe unknowingly so, but I think naturally he was more gravitating towards activities anyway. So maybe I didn't even have to tell him that anyway. But I'm happy that he did that. Because, by the way, I have my dogs right back here. I'll show you guys here in a second. But he did track and field, cross country. He did what is that club where you guys debate and act? I forgot what that club was called. But he did math club. He did show choir. Even though he didn't do choir itself, he did show choir, Rhapsody. And then now he teaches dance to kids in California, and he graduated from Princeton University. The dude, he's super smart. I'm really happy for him. I wish I had a social so I can link it so you guys can go check him out. But he does dance, and he does like Broadway style shows. Great actor. He does a lot of makeup on himself and then obviously on others. He does like costume and cosplay type deal. And he's out there, like he's out and doing things, And while I'm doing construction and all that stuff, he's, like I said, all three of us, because I have 2 younger brothers, but my youngest brother is the one I'm talking about. My middle brother, right now, he works for a company that fixes Samsung appliances, but he's in the process of launching his own franchise. Well, not franchise, but his own LLC, which he has it already registered as an LLC, but he wants to have an actual location. Instead of just doing it out of his house. So he's looking for like a storage unit or whatever. He's doing stuff, he just got a kid, had a kid, back in January. So I know I sent pictures already on YouTube. You guys can check that out. My little nephew, cute little Linus is his name, Linus Ezekiel. And I'm very happy for him, man. I'm happy that he made me an uncle, and obviously happy that, he's married and has a very successful, not only side gig, but his company that he's working for right now is giving him good money. So, but he's looking to do that next year where he can just quit that job that he's doing so he can just focus on that business. So he has a lot of business partners right now that are looking to invest and help him get a storage unit or like a garage that he can wash cars and stuff, because that's what he does. He details vehicles. He's very, very good at it. I hire him to do mine every single time. So, but all three of us, dude, we come from the same cloth, but we just live our lives differently. And I'm really happy about that. I don't want us to each live our lives the same. I want us to have the same theme of, struggle, triumph, success, mentorship, paying back in the community. And all three of us are doing that, So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to call it quits here, but I love you guys. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. I'll keep, grinding away at this channel. I would love it if you guys would like the channel, like the video, they're within the channel, and comment what you guys thought, what your opinion is, and I appreciate all the support that you guys offer. And please check out the merch store. At least click the link and give me your credit card information. Click the link in the description below. And hope you guys enjoy. Please donate to the channel if you can. Otherwise, the merch store is there at your leisure. Check it out, and then let me know if you guys have any problems. I know one of my buddies, I'm gonna get him a hat because he tried to order it, but it said not deliverable or something like that. So I'm gonna get that situated and figured away. So I will. I'm thinking about buying a bunch of the stuff out there, so I can just mail it to you guys. When you guys decide to purchase, you can just pay me instead. It doesn't matter. It's the way that you don't have to pay for shipping because it's already paid for. But anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for stopping into the channel. Be sure to like again and comment below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.